Biko, you must hear what happened in Zimbabwe, my Zimbabwe. We thought Mugabe was bad, but who knew that the man he was using to do his dirty jobs that time will be the one showing us pepper today. What's up, my people? It's your girl Adiola. Adiola Lake. Move closer, make we yarn something. You know, we are making progress in some African countries when it comes to election, and we are always celebrating that. But election in some African countries is still being treated like a joke, even in Nigeria. But we're supposed to be the giant of Africa. But the truth is, a lot of Africans, from Cameroon to Gabon to Togo to Zimbabwe, a lot of Africans are feeling as if the person they did not vote for is being imposed on them. Amen, somebody. That is why we have to talk about it. Once again, my people, 80-year-old Emmerson Mnangagwa, aka the Crocodile, has been declared the winner of the Zimbabwean election of 2023. The trouble is, so many Zimbabweans are saying that the electoral process was filled with intimidation and fraud. And you cannot blame them because the whole thing was a mess. Voting was delayed at opposition strongholds. Can you imagine? Some polling stations reportedly turned voters away. They told them to go home. They told them to go home. Some of them closed early. Ballot papers were still being printed. The evening of election day, I said, the devil is like, how? Like, serious? And then they arrested 41 election monitors the day after the election. God. And they seized all the electoral materials they had with them. And you know, it didn't even start on election day, months, even years to the election. You know, there were reports of arrest and violence by the ruling party, that is the ZANU-PF, against the opposition. In fact, Zimbabwe's Supreme Court barred a candidate from running. That is Savo Kasukuwere. They didn't allow him to run at all. The government of Zimbabwe banned some opposition rallies. The Electoral Commission deported 4 election observers from the Good Governance Africa. That was before the election day. And they refused accreditation to local election observers as well as the Southern Africa Human Rights Defenders Network. Can you imagine? By the way, they also prohibited some international journalists from covering the election. I was like, how convenient for them to rig the election. Meanwhile, you will not believe this. The president told the people that they should vote for him so that they can go to heaven. I like how they always bring God into their atrocities. Yes, and their dictatorship. Somehow they will plug in God right there because they know that Africans, we love anything that has to do with God like that. We don't. So, how many of you, my Zimbabwean people, voted for this man so that you could make heaven? Let us know in the comment section so we can pray for you. I keep asking, why are some African leaders wicked towards their own people? This is not other people. These are their own people. I mean, first of all, this man is 80. He will be 81 next month, September 15th. What else does he want in life? Although he looks better than our own president in Nigeria, you know, who says that he's 71. In case you're watching, we're just saying that the man looks good. But you know, age is not even the issue. If he's aged and he's doing well, I won't say anything. But this man has not done well since he came in power in 2017 via a coup. That was when they kicked out Mugabe. Inflation last month was 101%. Also, reports from Zimbabwe is telling us that only 25% of the people have formal jobs. This is the 3rd president that Zimbabwe has had since independence, by the way. Because Mugabe refused to leave and now this man doesn't want to leave. And the same party, ZANU-PF, has been in power for the past 43 years. And like Mugabe, this president, known as the Crocodile, has continued to milk the country dry. Don't forget to watch the Gold Mafia of Zimbabwe on YouTube. You guys will see how the president, his niece, his family members, let me just say, not just his niece, prominent pastors in Zimbabwe and ambassadors are all stealing gold out of the country like no man's business, and they even boast about it publicly. You know, Mugabe recruited this man a long time ago to do his dirty jobs, and that is why they call him the Crocodile. For those wondering, why do we keep calling him the Crocodile? Yes, he's been involved in politics since the 60s, directly or indirectly, because he started when he was barely 20. That was when Mugabe met him. That was 60 years ago. They fought for independence together, by the way. And he was one of Mugabe's closest lieutenants. You know, he was a member of of the parliament, and he has held so many political offices. He was a member of parliament, speaker of parliament, minister of security, minister of housing, minister of defense. He was even vice president before Mugabe fired him when he realized that, okay, this man is trying to kick me out and take my position as president. But as you guys know, in 2017, the crocodile snapped back at his own master. He overthrew his master, that was Mugabe, in a coup. When he realized that Grace Mugabe, that was Mugabe's wife, aka Gucci Grace. How is Grace, by the way, my Zimbabwean people? We will talk about that another time. But the man wanted to make sure that Grace Mugabe doesn't become president, because it became obvious that Grace was preparing herself to be the next president after her husband Mugabe. Now, even though when he came in 2017, he promised democracy, for some reason, since he took over power, first of all, I don't know, but all the army generals that helped him overthrow Mugabe, they just started dying one by one. Like, seriously, people were like, what's happening here? Within a matter of weeks, in fact, there was a time, I think 3 of them reportedly died within 2 weeks. But again, maybe it's a natural cause, you know, maybe it's old age, I don't know, although some of them were born in the 60s. But I'm not surprised that he's clinging on to power. He came in 2017, they had an election in 2018. Instead of ensuring democracy like he promised, handing over power to civilians, he did not. He declared himself winner at that time. Now he's been declared winner again for second term. But I'm not surprised, and I don't think anybody should be surprised, because this man has said that he will be in power even in 2030. And it looks like he means it, you know. My Zimbabwean people, let us hear from you about this election. I mean, even ZANU-PF supporters, let's hear from you. I mean, the man has a lot of supporters, by the way. Not just among regular people, but among popular pastors. You know, we've talked about some of them on this show. All the way to celebrities. Even Mayweather campaigned for him. The rest of us, we couldn't help but wonder why people support people that are known to be dictators. I mean, I'm sure you have your reason. Maybe let us know, because maybe we are the ones that are wrong. Because the people that are supporting them, they're the ones making it easy for them to rig elections. I mean, if they couldn't get 25% of votes, it would be hard for them to rig themselves to say that they got 52% like he said. So a lot of people must have supported him for it to be easy for him to rig the election. So rigging works when African politicians are able to get even small support. If they get zero support, if people reject them completely, it becomes very hard for them to rig election. They will be scared of the people. Zimbabweans at home and abroad, do you think this election was free and fair? And if you don't think it was free and fair, why or why not? Real quick. So this weekend, an African king who is making a difference is celebrating his 66th birthday party. We've talked about him before on this show. Check out that video. You will be inspired. Please come out this Friday, September 1st. Kabiyesi Dera, Ladi the African tiger, he used to wrestle. That is Oba James Oladipo Arokola Burema, is celebrating his 66th birthday with a fundraising to build a computer center in his community, that is Idera. They are also awarding chieftaincy titles that day, so please come on out, meet the king while having a great time whining and dining. Nigerian food. Event starts at 4 p.m. Please come on out and meet our very own Onidera of Idera, Ladi the African tiger. Once again, let me know what you guys think about the Zimbabwean election. Did you guys click the thumbs up button yet? Like some of you, how about, do I have to beg you? Okay, now I'm begging you. Click the thumbs up button. Yeah. Encourage me. Thank you. And don't forget to subscribe if you're yet to. I cracked myself up. Subscribe if you're yet to. And follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next time, I must see you all later. Peace out.